Hello there, you're watching Nightline. I'm Anita Wu. The top stories. Congestion charge can save motorists 180 million ringgit a year, says Finance Minister. And government to implement flexible working hours starting March 1st. Our headlining story. The government will implement its new Flexible Working Hours or WBF scheme starting March 1st across all ministries and federal departments in several states to replace the existing Staggered Working Hours WBB. The implementation of the pilot project will involve the federal territories of Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya, Perlis, Selangor, Johor, Terengganu, Sarawak and Sabah.
This follows a circular issued by Public Service Department Director General Datuk Sri Borhan Dollah to all ministerial chief secretaries on Monday. Based on the circular, the WBF applies to all civil servants bound by the regular office hours at any ministry or department. The office hours for these states and federal territories would be from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m, except on Thursdays in Johor and Terengganu, which would end earlier at 4 p.m. Datuk Sri Borhan said officers can start their duties any time between 7:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m, while those who clock in later than that will be counted as late. He added the WBF will reflect the standard 9 working hours, including break time, which means that those who clock in at 8:07 a.m. will end their duties at 5:07 p.m. As for staff members who come in earlier than required, their clock-in time will start at 7:30 a.m. by default. Currently, the WBB is fixed based on 4 different office hours, namely 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m, and 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Commuters can save 180 million ringgit per year when the toll on 4 highways in the Klang Valley are replaced with a congestion charge. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng, who disclosed this figure on Tuesday, said that the acquisition of 4 existing highways from Gamuda Berhad will save the government 5.3 billion ringgit from having to pay compensation to the toll concessionaire, as toll rate hikes will be frozen until the end of the respective concession periods.
Unjuran awal menganggarkan bahawa pengguna 4 lebuh raya ini akan menikmati penjimatan sehingga 180 juta ringgit setahun dengan peralihan daripada kutipan tol kepada caj kesesakan. Penjimatan ini bermakna pendapatan boleh guna isi rumah rakyat Malaysia akan bertambah dengan jumlah yang sama.
The Finance Minister said this at a media briefing in Putrajaya on Tuesday. Lim also said that the government expects the acquisition exercise of the 4 highways will take up to 6 months to fulfill legal, regulatory and financial requirements. The 4 highways involved are Lebuh Raya Damansara Puchong, LDP, Sistem Penyuraian Trafik KL Barat, Sprint, Lebuh Raya Shah Alam, Kesas and Smart Tunnel, Smart. Lim added that the proposed acquisition of these highways is a win-win solution for all involved. He said under the new model, the congestion charge follows a variable pricing structure which depends on the time of the day. This new model will help to ease traffic congestion during the peak periods by encouraging commuters to plan and shift their commute to the less congested hours. The Fire and Rescue Department has teamed up with other agencies to investigate the fire incident involving a ferry in Langkawi, Kedah on Monday from all aspects, including the fire safety system and a possible engine oil spill on the vessel. Its Director General Datuk Muhammad Hamdan Wahid said the ferry, built by carbon fibre material, coupled with the scorching hot weather and strong breeze, may have fueled the flames.
Siasatan masih berjalan dan difahamkan forensik kita sudah pun turun malam untuk membuat siasatan bekerjasama dengan agensi-agensi yang lain. Saya percaya ada tumpahan dan kawalan. Kalau kapal besar, kemungkinan dia akan menjadi satu pencemaran di kawasan perairan tersebut.
Datuk Muhammad Hamdan was speaking to reporters at an event in Seremban, Negeri Sembilan on Tuesday. He also advised passenger ferry operators to ensure that their fire safety system and equipment are functional. All 52 passengers of a Kuala Perlis-bound ferry were rescued when the vessel caught fire minutes after it departed from the Kuah terminal on Monday. Now, after its ferry caught fire in Langkawi on Monday, all Dragon Star Shipping Sdn Bhd passenger ferry services have been suspended with immediate effect. State Agriculture and Agro-Based Transport and Primary Industry Committee Chairman Azman Nasruddin said this was to enable the Marine Department to conduct a detailed investigation to determine the actual cause of the fire.
Kita akan berhalusi dengan secara halus supaya jika benar ada dakwaan-dakwaan yang dikenakan terhadap syarikat feri ini, kita mungkin tidak teragak-agak untuk dengan Kementerian Pengangkutan untuk menghentikan operasi ini. Itu pun bergantung kepada semua laporan-laporan yang kita akan kaji.
He said the forensic investigation will take about 3 to 4 days, after which a decision will be made on whether the company can resume its operations or not. The company was first suspended for a month last October when one of its ferries was stranded for 8 hours in the middle of the sea while on its way to Langkawi from Kuala Kedah. It is believed that the fire on the ferry may have started in the engine room. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad on Tuesday called on ferry operators to step up their maintenance and safety measures following the fire incident in Langkawi waters. The Prime Minister said he had received a preliminary report on the incident, which saw the rear part of the Kuala Perlis-bound ferry completely razed. In a Twitter post, Tun Dr. Mahathir expressed his relief that no casualties were reported in the incident. He also thanked the rescue team and the public for helping the victims during the incident. In Pahang, over 40 hectares of the Gebeng industrial area in Kuantan have been destroyed by a fire since Monday, exposing nearby areas to massive air pollution. Preliminary investigations revealed that the flames originated from a bonfire made by some anglers near a lake in the forest area. State Fire and Rescue Department Chief Nur Hisham Mohamad said a report on the fire incident was received at around 2:28 p.m. on Monday. He said the department did not rule out the possibility that it might have started way earlier and was not noticed by the public. Over 50 firefighters have been deployed to the location to contain and extinguish the inferno. Nur Hisham said the fire spread quickly because logging activities take up a huge part of the area. Efforts to put out the blaze is expected to take some time due to the peat soil condition, strong winds and dry atmosphere. The Inspector General of Police on Tuesday confirmed that police are investigating Barisan Nasional BN Secretary General Datuk Seri Nazri Aziz for alleged offences under the Sedition Act. The Padang Rengas Member of Parliament earlier said a video in his speech during the Semenyih by-election campaign, which has since gone viral, had been cut and edited to put him in bad light.
Sebenarnya laporan polis ada dibuat. Kita pun sedang melengkapkan kertas siasatan, termasuk mengambil kenyataan-kenyataan mereka-mereka yang kita fikirkan ada kaitan dengan isu yang dilaporkan itu.
Kes asal bawah section apa sekarang?
Kalau saya tak silap, dia bawa akta hasutan. Section 41, bracket 1, akta hasutan 1948.
The IGP spoke to the media after attending the Federal Reserve Unit's 63rd anniversary celebrations in Cheras in Kuala Lumpur. On Monday, Datuk Seri Nazri confirmed he was questioned by the police over remarks he made while on the campaign trail for the Semenyih by-election last week. Among others, the BN Secretary General claimed the appointment of non-Muslims as the Attorney General, AG, Chief Justice and Finance Minister was causing fear among the Malay community. He also said non-Malays should not question Malay privileges, as the former group also enjoys special privileges such as vernacular schools. Sarawak will carry out an integrated rabies operation involving various government agencies in 2 districts starting March 1st. Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Ahmad Douglas Uga said the operation aimed to vaccinate dogs and remove strays in Bau and Lundu from March 1st to 10th.
And I'd like to emphasize here, this is a pilot project, and this project covers only Lundu and Bau, which is for the date of 1st to 10 March.
He spoke to the media after chairing a State Disaster Management Committee meeting in Kuching on Tuesday. Dato' Amauga said the operation would involve about 450 personnel from the police, military, fire and rescue department, civil defence force, veterinary services department, local government and housing ministry and Sarawak Forestry Corporation. He said this integrated approach was made possible after the state declared rabies a level 2 disaster on January 11th in view of the rising number of cases and infected areas since the outbreak began in mid-2017. Malaysia is expected to unveil its first flying car prototype to the public this year. Entrepreneur Development Minister Datuk Sri Rezwan Mat Yusof said the car's prototype is already available and will be driven by local technology with investment of over 1 million ringgit.
It's interaction of two parties, technology providers, sponsors. This year is a realistic time to target. But it depends on the other party whether they can come quickly or not. It's got a lot of impact. For example, if you talk about the agriculture industry, okay, we can use drone, UAV, or even flying cars to put surveillance in your cultivation. Okay, you can fight crime. You can have got police on patrol for no longer cars, so they can have wider coverage. There are all these sensors around the city, for example, crime prevention.
He spoke to the media after the launch of the Growth Malaysia, an initiative by FAVE and its partners on Tuesday. He said the car would be safe and capable of flying at low altitude at a reasonable speed. Datuk Sri Muhammad Rezwan said the flying car project is a way for the government to create an environment that stimulates people to think about new technology. He said the project is also to utilise the country's capabilities in the aerospace, drone, unmanned aerial vehicle and automotive sector. However, he said the project is separate from the third national car project envisioned by the Prime Minister.
Catch the auto segment every Friday on Nightline! Woo!
Welcome back. Still on Nightline. Malayan banking Berhad saw its net profit surge 7.9% for the year ended December 31st, 2018 to hit 8.11 billion ringgit, boosted mainly by higher loans growth, lower overhead costs as well as lower provisioning. This was the first time that Maybank breached the 8 billion ringgit profit since its establishment in 1960. Its chairman, Datuk Moyani Shamsuddin, said the results reflected the underlying strength and resilience of the group, which had to contend with an extremely challenging year in 2018. In the statement, Maybank said their strategy is to grow responsibly while managing expenses and pricing in a disciplined manner were key factors that enabled them to remain on a steady growth trajectory despite the heightened volatility in global market. The group gross loans record expanded at a faster pace of 4.8% in 2018, a marked increase in comparison to the 1.7% growth posted in 2017. Deposits also expanded at a faster pace of 5.6% compared with 1.8% a year earlier, with emphasis remaining on lower-cost current account savings account deposits as part of an overall strategy to ensure efficient management of assets and liabilities. In Selangor, a factory operator was charged in the Shah Alam Magistrates Court on Tuesday with uploading a post that insulted Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, using the Facebook application last week. A. Tanison, aged 22, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge before Magistrate Rini Triani Muhammad Ali. He was charged with uploading the posting on his Facebook account with the profile name Sarkar Tanisan at about 11:40 a.m. last February 19th. The charge was made under the Penal Code for causing disharmony, disunity or feelings of enmity, hatred and ill will on grounds of religion among the people of different religions in the country, which provides an imprisonment of up to 5 years if found guilty. The court set bail at 8,000 ringgit with one shorty and ordered Tanison to report himself at the nearest police station every 2 weeks. The court set April 5th for mention. In Kelantan, police have confiscated various types of drugs worth 1.15 million ringgit and a revolver in two separate incidences in Rantau Panjang, Pasir Mas and Kot Lanas on Monday. Kelantan Police Chief Dato' Hasanuddin Hassan said it was the largest confiscation by the police in the first 2 months of this year. Besides the drugs, police also confiscated the suspects' vehicles, including a Toyota Velfire and a BMW, as well as 700 ringgit in cash, all amounting to 360,700 ringgit. In the two cases, police detained 5 men aged between 24 and 53, including one detainee under the Prevention of Crime Act, POCA. Among the drugs seized were 72,000 methamphetamine pills in a package with a market worth of 1.08 million ringgit, 1.629 kilograms of powder believed to be heroin, and crystals weighing 1.073 kilograms believed to be shabu worth 71,980 ringgit. All the suspects were remanded from February 25th until March 3rd for further investigations. The cases were being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 and the Arms Act 1960.
In Perak, police arrested 6 Pakistan nationals for beating a robber to death in Taman Orchid Jaya, Sungai. According to the police, the victim, together with his friends, allegedly wanted to rob the Pakistanis with a machete at their home at around 2:45 a.m. However, a scuffle broke out between them and the suspects managed to catch the victim as 2 of his friends had escaped. The case is being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. Over in Malacca, a religious school teacher pleaded not guilty at the Alor Gajah Sessions Court on Tuesday to 4 counts of sexual abuse and unnatural sex involving 2 male students since 2017. The accused was charged under the Sexual Offences Against Children Act 2017, which carries a jail term of up to 20 years and whipping upon conviction. The court set bail at 25,000 ringgit and fixed March 29th for re-mention of the case. Whereas in Johor, a married couple was sentenced to 2 years jail by the Johor Bahru Sessions Court on Tuesday after the couple pleaded guilty to abusing their 12-year-old son. Judge Kamarudin Kamsun ordered bus driver, 29-year-old Muhammad Farid Rosli, and his 38-year-old Indonesian wife, Yuliani Chosibah, aged 38, to serve the jail sentence from the date of their arrest, which was February 19th. The couple was also placed on a 3-year good behaviour bond and to do 48 hours of community service or to serve another year in jail. Also in Johor, the Health Department has issued a 21-day immediate closure notice to a clinic in Taman Century, Johor Bahru, for selling sick leave certificates as well as providing expired medicine to patients. It was learnt the errant clinic, which has been operating since 1975, also had neglected various aspects of patient safety and care. The clinic operator could face a fine of 50,000 ringgit or a jail term or both if found guilty. Meanwhile, in Sarawak, a pregnant woman and a nurse suffered from minor injuries when the ambulance they were in collided with a 4-wheel drive at Jalan Tun Ahmad Zaidi Adrus in Kuching on Tuesday. However, 3 other nurses, the ambulance driver and the driver of the 4-wheel drive escaped unhurt in the 9:30 a.m. incident. The injured were taken to the Sarawak General Hospital's emergency unit for further treatment, and the case was investigated under Section 43 of the Road Transport Act 1987.
Welcome back. We move on to the foreign front. In Pakistan, at least 300 militants were believed to have been killed in an India airstrike in the town of Balakot, Kashmir, on Tuesday. Pakistan, however, denies any casualties or damage, but issued a vague threat that it will respond in its own time. According to India's Foreign Secretary, the airstrikes hit a training camp of Jaish-e-Mohammed militant group, who claimed credit for a suicide car bomb attack that killed at least 40 Indian paramilitary police in Kashmir on February 14th. The action was ordered as India said it had intelligence that the group was planning more attacks. Tuesday's airstrikes are the first launched across the line of control, the de facto border that divides India-administered Kashmir from Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Whereas in Thailand, a Thai ranger died and 2 others, including a civilian, were wounded when a bomb went off in the Benant Star district in the rest of Yala province on Tuesday. In the incident at about 9:25 a.m, the 38-year-old ranger died at the scene and his 33-year-old comrade was seriously injured, while a woman motorcyclist was hurt in the incident in Kampung Lalay. Benant Star Police Chief Tirapo Jindi said in the incident the 2 soldiers with 5 colleagues on a teacher protection duty at a school were on their way back to the ranger headquarters, located about 500 metres from the incident location. He said the explosion is believed to be from a homemade bomb placed at the fence of a graveyard located near the primary school. The bomb is believed to have detonated using a walkie-talkie. So far, no insurgent groups have claimed responsibility for the incident. Cardinal George Pell, once the third most powerful man in the Vatican and Australia's most senior Catholic, has been found guilty of child sexual abuse after a trial in Melbourne. This makes him the highest-ranking Catholic figure to receive such a conviction. Pell is accused of abusing two 13-year-old choir boys 22 years ago in Melbourne's cathedral. A Melbourne jury in December found Pell guilty of 5 charges, 1 of sexually penetrating a child and 4 of committing indecent acts with children. That verdict was made public on Tuesday after months of procedural secrecy. However, he had pleaded not guilty to all 5 charges. Pell is due to face sentencing hearings from Wednesday and has lodged an appeal against his conviction. Looks like that's it for Nightline this time around, and as we wrap, we'll leave you with stunning visuals of snow sculptures at the Krasnaya Polyana ski resort in the Russian city of Sochi. With that, I'm Anita Wu. Thank you for tuning in.